welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Coast Racing Network. Apologies for the technical gremlins we were just going through moments ago, but we are live now on both Coast to Coast Racing Network and Slide Job Racing Network, and we're ready for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. On the pole, it is the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75. Next to him, the 32, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 2, the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. And next to him, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row 3, Mike Brewer in the 390, and Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row 4, the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213, and Harold Clump in the 2. Rounding out the top 10, Sean Green in the 271, and Sam Bachman in the 007. Row 6, Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 051. Here's the rest of the field: Brandon Templeton, Dylan Kinsey, Mason Hine, Glenn Sharp, Jason Butterfield, Joseph Grandy, Brian Dickens, Fred Bristol. The final 4 on the grid: Bob DeGood, Barry Wallace, Bud Molyneux, and Andy Patton. Well, Brandon Dittmer and Dean Reynolds alongside me here tonight. Picks to win. Dean, we'll start with you.
I got the Magic Ant-Man in front of me.
All right, Brandon?
You know, we talked to Mr. Trevor Giroux before the race, and he is dying for this win. Give me Trevor.
Give me the man that starts from 4th tonight. I'm not going to say his name to jinx it, but give me the man starting from 4th tonight. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck on pit road. Here we go for 30 laps. First time tonight, it's time to get it on. And let me tell you something, it feels so good to say that once again. Side by side off of turn 4. Giroux leads lap number 1. Morano coming back. He's got good fight on the exit of turn number 2. Dean, oh, the leader's touch there off of turn 4. Close corners, great distance finest. You don't normally get that here in Limaland, Brandon.
Oh, Trevor clips the outside wall. And yes, we'll get extremely close corners here
between Dino and Randall. Everybody hanging on, but it's all 2 by 2 in the exit of the corner.
Everybody's saying, for the most part, clean. A little cut down by 4th place there. Almost tried to pull her back. And gonna go right after Dean here again.
Now remember, it's open setups on Monday nights here for the Coast. Oh, look out, Dixon will that time catches the wall. More contact. We got one around. Head on in the wall. I believe that was green, the 271. Caution flag is out for the first time tonight.
Oh, you scared the hell out of me, Trevor.
You've got Green and you've got Patton involved in this one.
Patton just didn't check up. He plowed into him.
This is Green here. And there are the ARCA brakes. You may see drivers pop in and pop out from time to time here on iRacing. We are, I think we still have the 20 car default drawn in, but with the way the graphics card is, we can boost that up between Open 358s and Rebels. Let us know, by the way, who you're rooting for in the chat. Give you a shout out live and on the air. Hello to Ron checking in. Everything's looking pretty good so far tonight. Hopefully the stream's looking well. Hopefully the stream is sounding well. If you're having any issues, let us know and we will try and fix it as soon as possible. Green flag back out.
I almost forgot how quick these cautions go.
Yeah, Morano able to clear everyone, including Giroux and Reynolds. Big stack up from Fred by back. One car got up in the air. That was Harold Clump. Front. Oh, look out!
Oh, around goes Kelly Wheeler!
And a stack up in back. And Vitale goes. Yellow flag is back out. You can see that one coming there, Brandon, for about a quarter of a lap or so.
Yeah, lots of beating and banging, a little contact, and unfortunately Kelly Wheeler just losing it there in the middle of 1 and 2 just kind of sends it all off.
There you see the stack up. Big contact from Butterfield out of Vitale.
Did he should have punched him?
Wreck and stack everyone back up once again, then we'll come back to the green flag.
One to green.
All right, man. Like it back on the
Extended.
Yeah.
Yeah, field's not double filed up yet here.
Yeah, Tony, Anthony extended it so the guys in the back could catch up.
I just want to make sure everyone is all set in their proper spots, then we'll come back to green.
Yeah, because Brandon says these yellows go quick here.
First of 3 races here tonight. Later on we'll have Rebels, that's going up next, and then our top Renegade division. Those final 2 races are the sprint cars. Watch for the aerial cam as we come back to green. Shetzer, Vitale, Grando, Murano, and Giroux make up the top 5 as we're back to green. Three wide per second, Dino in the middle. Look at Giroux trying to make a good move here on the high side. 3 by 3 off the quarter inch down. He's not going to stop to the top because the next Wheeler up on the wall. He was the driver that caught the biggest break. We were nearly 5 wide in turn 2. This is insane stuff. And now we are 5 wide. We nearly went 6 wide. The beauty of Limaland's motorsport
Contact from the bottom.
at its finest. And I believe Dixon caught the U-tire. He's slow off the pace. He then gets heated by Molyneux, neck coated by Dickens, and now Dixon comes to a stop.
Big single file.
That car was wrecking for like over 1 lap or so.
That might have set a new record here.
I'm sorry, Kelly. I think I drifted a little too far on you. So sorry on that.
The replay, see how bad the car was looking. Tough break there for the driver of the 011. So going back to that second caution we had in the race, Brandon, I think the man that caught the biggest break was Wheeler because he was a part of that wreck, but because he kept it straight and we did not complete that green flag lap, he retains his 4th spot here.
He does retain a spot, but how much damage did he get on his car? Because he got hit by like 5 different cars going through that entire thing. He can't be sitting pretty right there.
We will just have to wait and find out as we're ready to come back to green for, again, single file restart. 11 laps go up on the board. Murano, the race leader. Coming off his first ever win as a Renegade in the Renegades division. Last week, his first ever win in the top sprint car class. And filed out 3 wide for 5th. Here comes Sam Bachman. That 007, 4 wide once again, with both Bachman and the car on the outside. That battle, that's Brewer in the 390.
We got 3 wide, all FTM boys is trying to make something work somewhere else. And Clay is just out there banging them out of time.
Let's see if Brewer can follow that 110. Kelly Wheeler is right on board with Brewer. Hold my beer is right with the way this race has been at Limaland tonight. Back up to the front of the field. Murano still leading on Trevor Giroux. Giroux now seeing if he can get a better run up top compared to Murano. He had it for just a moment, but it's going to be very tough to pass Murano when he's out in front, Brandon.
Oh, it's tough to pass Murano almost any time in one of these machines. Like back and forth, Kelly Wheeler got super tight, got the wall. Mike Brewer fell back a long ways, and Clay Christopherson now fighting for 4th place with Kelly Wheeler.
Christopherson up 70, one of the biggest movers in this race. You got Dickens up 8, Molyneux up 11 after starting from 23rd. Remember, he had started from last in the B main. So a great run going for him tonight. 2 by 2 just about going to turn number 1. Now we see how the tires are during the second half of this one. 3 wide once again with Brewer in the middle. One thing I'm starting to notice here too, Brandon, leaders are about to approach some lap traffic, quarter of a lap away. I think they're going to catch them before the checkers if we go green to checkers.
Lap traffic, especially if they're running that high side, which from the glimpses that I'm catching, they are. It is going to throw a huge wrench in the plans for Mr. Anthony Morano and Trevor Giroux. As you mentioned, the tire wear. These guys banging the cushion.
3 wide again for Ford. As Putt had a really nice slide job going through the corner. 3 wide again. Wheeler stuck in the middle. Bachman downstairs. Brandon Templeton trying to get a lane to work. That clogs up. Contact, and he's on the wall hard. The steering broke. He's upside down. Still up on the air. And now on his noggin. Yellow flag out with 8 laps to go. And that ends the possibility of lap traffic in this one. Look at what happens to driver to 31.
What in the... I'm a little confused by what I just saw out of Brandon Templeton's steering wheel input. It looked like he turned straight right after contact with Kelly Wheeler. I'm a little uncertain.
Let's watch this closely. Yeah, I think he was just trying to hang on, then just caught the wall. Because you could see the hands in the cockpit just trying to fight. Unfortunately, does not pay off. So now we got 7 laps to go, and I feel like lap traffic was going to be what Giroux needed in order to pass Morano. I don't know how it's going to work out here in the final few laps.
Look at the boy Clay Christopherson sitting in 4th place. He's been running the bottom most of the race. He's going to have the better tires out of the top 4. He is going to be licking his chops, praying for his opportunity.
Here we go. We're in the witching hour of the Open 358. Green flag back out. Morano able to hold third. Here goes Putt for third. Can he get it on his FDM teammate and Dean Reynolds? He's very tight here off the corner. Reynolds edges out for third.
Hey, what the play is super smooth on that bottom line. But that outside momentum is just proving to be a little too much for him to handle.
5 to go. More contact as both Bristol and Reynolds off the wall.
Brewer.
Oh, issues with Morano. Nope. Blanked it out there for just a moment. He's good though with 4 laps to go. Through on last call mode. He's going to have to hope for a 32 car mistake to have a chance at it with 3 remaining. Oh, it could come right here.
There it is.
Morano got the wall. Drew cuts it down to a car length and a half. Now, what do you do here with 2 laps to go? If you're the 32, you try to defend the low line. Try and prevent the slider here, Brandon.
I think you almost have to. Trevor's just going to get that wound up, and he's just going to go for it, I think.
White flag is out. Final lap underway. Is it going to be Morano or Giroux? Giroux, though, catches the wall. Both of them in the wall. That's going to prevent anything from Giroux doing something. Morano defends the slider line. He comes off for turn 4. The Magic Ant-Man takes the win at Limaland. Giroux second, Reynolds third, Brewer fourth, and Christopherson fifth. Great racing here tonight, without question. We'll pot up the results here from tonight as Morano takes the checkered flag and wins by 0.2 of a second on Giroux. We got Reynolds third, Brewer fourth, Christopherson fifth, Bachman sixth, Dickens seventh, Wheeler eighth, Klump ninth, and Kinsey 10th. Biggest mover tonight was Montlanou, started 23rd and finished 11th. Actually, no, correction, Ryan Dickens up 12 as well. He started 19th and finished in 7th. Here's the rest of the field from 21 down to 24. Sean Green, Brandon Templeton, Kurt Schatzer, and Randall Dixon. So 3 drivers DNFing from this one. Well, we've got the man in already, the guy that finished in 3rd spot, Dean Reynolds. Dino, how fun was that race out there tonight?
Well, the last time I was here, I actually wound up winning, and it's because I actually found a middle in 1 and 2 that worked. Actually, Mike Brewer showed it to me, and I just happened to use it. But there was nothing down in the middle, and so I just stayed up top. I tried a couple different lines, and then I lost the draft, I guess, with them if there's ever such a draft. But I tell you what, that last restart, I was worried about Clay. Because we have a thing in FTM Discord. We all run the top, or we're going all out. We go, damn Clay. And he runs that bottom putt, and he earns that putt. And, he scared me. But we hung on for third. I was the third best car tonight. I mean, Anthony and Trevor are a little bit better than I was up top. But you know what? We'll take it. We got that heat win there by getting around Harold by using the top, so that helped out. And, we hung on for a podium, so we can't complain.
Was this with the baseline Swan setup this evening?
Yep, it's the same one we always do. I mean, it's like I was talking to Brandon. It's actually derived around a Limaland, Lanier, and a Lucas Oil type of setup with all 3 L's there, and it's actually a short track setup. I use it everywhere. So actually, Sam uses it everywhere. A lot of our guys use it everywhere. I just change gear and then determine if I want to run right front brake or not, and go from there.
A great run for you tonight, though. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Well, first of all, you, Marty. We missed you. RSN, we're lucky to have you back, and we're proud to sponsor Monday night with Team Venom. We say it's FTM sponsorship, but we're actually doing it for Swan Speed Shop. We wanted to move over to Monday night because it's open sets. Swanee does open sets for 358s and supplies coast to coast with a 358 set. So Isaac talked to Isaac, and he said, yeah, Gramps can move over to Thursday by all means with Top Notch Trucking, and he let us have Monday. And we want to thank Team Venom for coming in and picking up half the tab so you can do your work. And thank the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports. Great bunch of guys. We were hoping for a sweep tonight. I said last thing I said to in the Discord, I go, let's get a sweep, but that damn Giroux just had to mess that up. So, gotta thank them. Gotta thank the guys from Coast to Coast. We got a little bit of new management here, and we're putting things together, and I'm helping out a little bit again. And I brought my sponsorships back. I'm gonna do a little bit of sponsorship for Super Dirt Week, Super Dirt Modified Week, and do that as well. So, thanks to the league. And, it looks like we're growing 31 cars. I mean, that's a good sign. And so that's cool. And, got to thank Anthony Morano for doing the admin. Thanks Sherry for letting him do the admin. Hopefully Megan's watching. My father's watching. I sent him the links. But, Marty, I think you threw up 3 different telecasts. I don't know which one they're on.
Too many.
And, but we'll get that when you get everything all done. I'll send him the link tonight. And gotta say hi to Isaac's girlfriend Kelsey because I know I'm her favorite driver.
Oh, damn! Shots have been fired. Well, hey, this is why I'm back too. So we have the gossip. Going. Alrighty, we'll keep Dino in. Let's get to the man that has probably the coolest paint scheme of everyone out there tonight, possibly. No disrespect to you other two or any of the other drivers, but Trevor Giroux, Philly Flyer finishes in second. Trevor, you nearly had an opportunity to get Morano. What more did you need, though?
I don't know. Honestly, this car felt so good tonight. I think I just needed to for Anthony to probably make a couple more mistakes. He was getting into the wall there quite a bit, and I was kind of just setting him up for a slider and setting him up, and then I'd get into the wall or I'd get close enough, and then I'd see Dino behind me and didn't really, feel comfortable throwing it, knowing if I wasn't able to clear him, Anthony, then
should have done it. Should have done it.
No, then you'd have drove by me on the top, and
yeah, what's wrong with that?
I wanted second.
Yeah, work with me, dude.
No, it was fun though. Probably what I needed. I think Anthony hit the wall there again, and like 5 laps ago, and I was just talking to him. I was looking at my chops after I saw that, and then I think with like 10 to go, I hit the wall pretty hard, and think I hurt the right front a little bit. Car didn't really feel the same, but Anthony's he's fast, he's hard to beat, but definitely had a really, really good car tonight. Definitely happy with a second place. I told you earlier, Marty, all I wanted was to talk to you after the feature, and here I am. I am happy right now.
You had the same goal I did.
Everyone's goal is not to win, but they just want to talk to me for some reason. Probably because it's been
absolutely
since I've been here.
Not everyone could be Marty.
So
nope.
But a good car tonight, though. Who do you want to give shout out to, Trevor?
First and foremost, I have to give a shout out to the absolute GOAT, Marty. He's back, everybody. Get hype. He's back. Marty, so happy to have you back.
Shaggy's just flipping you the bird right about now.
No, Shaggy knows I love him. I tell him all the time. He knows I love him. But
They're the best two, aren't they? The best two.
no one can beat him. Absolutely nobody. But yeah, shout out you, Marty. Shout out to all the Full Throttle Motorsports guys, except for Dean. Shout out them guys for coming on board with us.
You can say hi to Megan if you want. Everyone else does.
Hey Megan, I know you're rooting for me, not Dean. Thank you, appreciate it. No, shout out for real though. Shout out them FTM boys. We appreciate them. I'm good friends with all of them, so shout out them boys. Shout out Big Tim Race Wraps for this new wrap. He got to me today. Shout out Dean with the Super Dirt Car Series, RSN Trackside. All my guys at Venom. I'm missing some guys. LDS. Can't think of anyone else. Everyone at C2C. Everyone in the booth here. Shout out you guys. I know you guys are having a couple issues there, but I'm still looking forward to watching the race and listen to Marty on the call once again. Thank you guys.
Trevor, great job tonight. Well done, and hopefully we'll see. I don't know if we see the rest of the night. If not, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Marty.
Trevor Giroux, the Philly Flyer, finishing in second, and yes, I know he's probably happy that Torts is gone. Anyway, now I think, was he quick time tonight? I don't know if he was.
Not even close.
Not even close. Not even close. Okay. Anthony Morano, your winner here this evening. Magic Ant-Man, good to see you back in victory lane after a phenomenal week last week. Just how good was this race car?
This thing was on rails, man. I actually didn't win one of these all last season, so it was feels pretty good to be back into the winner circle on the Open 358 side of things. It's kind of one of the divisions I definitely pride myself in, and just didn't have such a hot season last season. Didn't get any wins, and finished good in points, was consistent, but just didn't really didn't have what I usually think I have when I run these.
I was
going to say, Marty, he could have hit the wall a little harder coming out of two with 2 to go, though.
Yeah, he could have. He gave
Yeah,
Drew a little bit of a
I
chance.
thought I gifted that one to Trevor there. I was like, oh, man.
So, was starting second, first car on the outside really key to victory here, especially with how good the high side is here?
I think so. I know a few guys were running the bottom and making pretty good headway there. I know Brewer was running down there, and he said the car was rolling pretty good, but I just really didn't want to give up the top and let Trevor have free reign up there. So I figured the best offense at that point was defense and just hit my mark. So the track position's huge here. Getting the wins in the heat races makes quite a huge difference for sure.
Well, great win for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean Super Dirt Car, Logan at Limaland, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Designs, Castleberry Flagstone, Expert Installation, Shaggy TV, Marty, you welcome back doing the broadcasting. We missed you. Full Throttle Motorsports, Team Venom for doing the sponsorship for this dealio here. Everyone at Coast to Coast, and Trevor told me to say that I loved him very much for some reason. I don't know what that was all about, but that's what he told me to say.
That's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Canadian love, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just I'm not going there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there either.
Yeah, I'm not going there either. Yeah.
Anthony, congrats on the win, man.
Adventure.
Yeah, congrats on the win.
Before Marty,
Go
so
ahead.
Anthony, you missed.
Didn't do it.
No, you missed the hat trick by screwing up and not winning 358, your car. Are you going to do it tonight?
We'll see. I have not much time in these things at this track, so we're going to give it a whirl here. Hopefully, I can at least get through Rebels and make it to Renegades and keep plugging away points in both divisions. See what happens at the end of the season.
Because Marty, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think him and Isaac both have a 1-1-2, don't they?
I got to check. I don't know. It's my first time this season, Dean.
Well, come on, Marty. Bring your A game, man. Bring your A game. Good run, Tony, man. Good run.
Great job,
Thanks,
man.
All right, man.
So Morano takes the win. We will step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's Rebels time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we are just about getting ready to go for our Rebels division here. Welcome inside the broadcast booth for the first time in a long time. It is so damn good to be back, everyone. Marty Sakala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer and Dean Reynolds. It's been a long month. It has been very tough with no broadcast going on, but it's so good we are finally back up. I'll show you this here. Right over here, that's the old PC.
I see a couch and Grandma's pillow.
Yeah. But we got the old PC right here, getting ready to recycle.
And a wallpaper, Marty. That
Yeah.
wallpaper. Come on.
Hey, this has been here since before I was born. So.
Oh, good craftsman. Don't blame its tools.
But we're back live, so got to give a big shout out to Mardon for helping me out with a new PC. This is just free advertising for them. I definitely want to invest in a big PC with them, and gosh, you got to go check these guys out. They are phenomenal when it comes to sim racing PCs. Whenever I've been testing on iRacing, right now I'm actually at just about, right now on scenic mode, 280 frames a second. So these guys are legit the real deal. If you go to a race at Weed Sports Speedway or even Super Dirt Week, you'll see these guys here. Go run some laps, try out one of their computers. You will not be disappointed. We are ready to go for Rebels qualifying. I believe 11 drivers are with us here this evening.
10, because some stupid nut came on in and put his name in there.
Yeah, I wonder who that stupid nut is.
I'm waving. Just put the camera on me. Yeah, I didn't go in as a spectator, went as a competitor.
Qualifying underway right now at the moment.
Yeah, and by me, well, I don't know. They DQ'd me, so I might not do 2 heats. I might stay 1 heat.
Brandon
Since they DQ'd
Templeton,
me.
currently the quickest, 11:012. Second lap times come up on the board. This is Greg Parmalee. Does not have a better lap. Stephen Fernberg, good to see him. It's been a while since I've called his name out.
Yes, it's good to see him back. I was talking to him.
Off it goes
Yep.
to second. Moore Senior working on lap number 2 at the moment. Comes to 55B. Does he have a better lap? Yes, he does. Where does it put him? Goes to 5th, 11:23. Here comes Steve Bixler, the mayor. Lap number 1 for him. He goes, does not count.
He tried to knock down the wall.
Hind 5th. Oh, there goes Bixler sideways. Morano catches the wall. Don't know if that will improve, or nope, that lap won't count either. So with that, that puts qualifying to a halt. And so because of that, Brandon Templeton is the quickest man at Limaland Motorsports Park with an 11:012. You know what? Let's pop up the best lap times here while we are at it. 200's quicker than Gary Offut in third. Then it's Fernberg, Bixler, and Hind. So should be 2 heat races. With that, I believe it will be Taylor and Morano, Gary Taylor, Anthony Morano, that are your pole sitters for each of the 2 heats.
Yeah, be interested. Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, there's 11 in here without me. Okay, good. I would have made 12, so I didn't screw it up.
No,
I
you
feel
did
better
not.
about myself. I
Good
feel
job.
better about myself. I can
Good
go to
job.
sleep tonight. Yeah, thank you.
Now, see, if it were 16, I believe, then we'd be having issues.
Yes, because they moved. No, they went up to 10-car heats now because of the car counts getting up too high, and it's there. When you get 25 cars, you go 4 heats, and the telecasts were getting too long. So they moved back to 10-car heats. So now it only goes 4 heats when you get 31, like we did the 358s.
That makes sense.
Yep.
All right, just waiting for the time to expire. It would have expired by now, but somebody had to join in as a driver.
Yeah, but they DQ'd me. I should be okay. God darn it. Sorry, my bad. Oh, don't yell at me. Yeah, see, it didn't grid me.
At least it didn't grid you. That's true.
No, it didn't grid me.
So, checking in who's watching. Hello to the Goose. Chad Cote getting ready for his
Hey,
race.
Goose. Yes, I'll see him shortly.
So we are ready to go for heat race number 1. Here's how they line up as the captain is on the pole. Gary Taylor commanding the field at bay when we go green in the 34. Next to him, Mason Hine in the 89. Row number 2, Stephen Fernberg. He's in the number 29 machine. Next to him, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Final row, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and the mayor, Steve Bixler, in the 75.
Good to see Mason Hine getting more laps in the sprints. I think he's run every Rebel race this season, and you could tell it's been working because he's definitely been finding speed each week.
Hine improves throughout each and every sprint car race. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Now, speaking about Stephen Fernberg, actually, last week in the Renegades, we got together coming down the front straightaway in the last lap, and unfortunately, it was my deal. It was my fault, and he was all cool about it. And but we were both going for 8th, and it was good to see him run. But he was very cool about it. I felt horrible though, so he wound up I think 11th where he should have got 8th or 9th.
Alrighty. Winner is on pole for our feature this evening. Field is down the back chute. Look at that sunset. Racetracks and sunsets.
Gotta love it, Marty. Gotta love it.
You're already off to a good start when it comes to racetracks and sunsets.
Yes, we are. Oop,
Green flag
good
is
start
out.
by Mason.
Heat 1 underway. As Hine gets up to a good jump here from Gary Taylor. Brandon Templeton third. Stephen Fernberg fourth. There goes Pete Temp underneath. Does he have second? Yes, he does. The captain, though, tries to counter it back here.
Oh, hang on,
Slide
Gary.
job from Gary there, Dean.
Yeah, Gary went in the corner and he lifted a little bit because he didn't want to get into Brandon, but the car pushed on him, so he's kind of like,
look out.
hang on.
Contact.
Yep.
Gary goes around. That'll put him at the back of the field tonight. Bixler down to fourth. Fernberg got caught up with it, but he suffered no damage from that, Brandon.
Yeah, no damage at all, which is very lucky. And he's going to try to do his best to track down Beatshead here. Edep's doing kind of a little slider line almost trying to catch Mason.
Yeah, the slider lines have been working pretty well for some drivers as they're riding on board Brandon Templeton. We got the regular onboard camera here with us at iRacing gives you. We'll get that fixed hopefully by next week. Fernberg, the quickest car on track, Dean, at an 11:09 last time by, but got really wide off turn 4. That closes the lap time really bad.
Yeah, Steven's got years of experience. It's just all about, you know, I don't know if he's run since the new model where you got tire wear. I think he's been out that long, so that's a completely new learning curve right there.
Final lap underway here in Heat Race 1. Oh, that's a checkers, wow. These lap times go quick. 11-second laps as Hine wins. Templeton second, Fernberg third, Bixler fourth, Parmalee fifth, and Taylor sixth.
Now it's a good win about Mason Hine since we talked about him. We didn't give him the curse.
Now moving on to Heat Race number 2, and here's how the field lines up as the Magic Ant-Man is on pole. Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to him, Brian Moore Sr. in the 55B. Row number 2, Cale Bixler in the 789. Next to him, Gary Offit in the 94. Final car on the grid this evening from the toaster oven, it's Shaggy Zach Chapman.
He's the other guy that wants to thank Marty for being here, so now we can get back behind the wheel.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Zach for taking over for me for the past few weeks while I've been away on Monday nights. I was actually going to tonight because this is the first time I've been streaming with this. Tonight I was actually going to be here, but I was just going to stream to test everything, make sure it's good to go. Well, then Shaggy tells me I don't want to be in a toaster oven all night long because his air conditioning went out. I'm like,
I was wondering where that was coming from, so now we have confirmation.
okay, I'll come back. Now see, with the guys at my other gig at Marconi, they've been lenient with me so I can make sure all my graphics and stuff are good to go once I get asphalt racing started up, which is Wednesday night and maybe Saturday night.
Well, Shaggy's been happy that Adam Flieger came aboard to do the Thursday, so he's been running the big blocks with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Big welcome to Adam, to the Coast to Coast family,
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Green flag, green flag.
Green is out for Heat 2. Good jump by the 32. He gets a little wide off the corner. This is going to allow Cale Bixler to go wing to wing with them off of turn number 4. Lap 1 led by Morano. Battle for third here as Offit tries to catch Brian Moore Sr. in the 55B. Nothing to do with Offit, but Cale's fighting with Morano here, Brandon, for the lead.
Yeah, Cale kind of fighting back. Morano got a good jump there, but is falling off as Cale found something there on that bottom side.
3 wide for third. Offit in the beat in the sandwich. Edges out at the line for the spot. Side by side all over the place into turn number 3. Morano dusting the top off here, helps him out as he leads the halfway mark.
Yeah, usually that fluff will have some grip and you can get a launch off, but I don't think it's worked in enough. It looks like Morano's still getting a little bit of wheel spin because Cale can stay right with him in that middle, and that's unusual.
I wonder if somebody was up there in practice running it in, getting a nice slick line up there that nobody can see right now.
No, Clay's not here. Clay tries to do that all the time.
Both of them the quickest cars on the track. White flag waves, final lap underway. Morano looking to start in the same position that he started in the open 358s. That was second. It helped him get to victory lane in that division. Checkers wave. Morano wins the heat. He starts second tonight in the Rebels. Bixler second off in third. Moore Sr. fourth, and Chapman in fifth.
Well, Morano needed to do what he needed to do. He did his time trial right by sandbagging to get on the pole, and then gets his heat win.
Let's step aside, go to break. When we come back, featured time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as warm-ups are finishing up here at the moment. Quickest driver on the track is Brandon Templeton, 11.322. Driver 31, Morano second. At 11.36, Geary off for third, 11.43. Zach Chapman fourth, 11.45. Mikhail Bixler fifth, 11.48. Barney's got the checkered out. Color on here is great with the new PC with the graphics, and this isn't a standard AMD. This isn't not a standard NVIDIA card. This is an AMD, one of the newer graphics cards they have on the market, and it is just absolutely brilliant. For the colors, to the performance. I think I told you. I think I sent you guys the link on it on the computer, and it's just beautiful. So, anyway, feature time. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. On the pole, Mason Hine in the 89. Next to him, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row number 2, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Cale Bixler in the 789. Row number 3, Steven Fernberg in the 29, and Gary Offut in the 94. Row 4, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 55. Row 4, Greg Parmalee, row 5 rather, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72. Final car in the grid this evening, the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Big hello to Megan checking in. Very happy that I'm back, probably more happier for me to be back than Dina is.
Well, probably. Yeah, she's here for Dittmer.
Picks to win here. Dittmer, we'll start off with you.
Oh, God. You know what? I know Morano has been hot lately, but give me good old B-Temp.
You want beat temp? Alrighty. I am gonna go. You know what? You left the door wide open. I'll take Morano. Dean.
I gotta take Morano. Oh, sorry. Let's go with Fernberg.
All right, you'll go Fernberg. Alrighty, good picks, guys. Well, we're gonna have fun. 30 laps, top 5 transfer to Renegades pending IL. Second time tonight that it's time to shake and bake. As Hyde and Morano bring us to green, it's time to get it on.
Oh, big contact going down the backstretch already.
Yeah, we got one around, and that is, I believe, Bixler in the 789 it is.
Yeah.
Kale Bixler, Steven Fernberg is the Dean. Jinx strikes again.
Sorry, Steven. Jesus, I get him 2 weeks in a row, and this time I'm not even on the track.
Here's a look. Fernberg just came up into Kale.
Yeah, sometimes you get off the gas a little bit here. These cars push. Gary Offit needs to get a quick repair. His front wing's off, and he's got damage on the car. So hard. You don't want to take a quick repair this early, but I think he's going to want to.
All right, we'll get you the onboard here. Give us one moment. This is Steven Fernberg. We're moments away from going back to green. Green flag, back out.
Gary did go get that quick repair.
Hyde even to hold serve for the number 89. Morano still stuck in second. Templeton looking underneath that 2 spot. Fourth is for senior, and then Steven Bixler rounds out the top 5. 3 wide, meanwhile, for the race lead for just a moment. Look at Morano. He may get a chance at it. Not a look Hyde and Templeton touch. They hang on to it. Morano says, thank you very much, boys. I'll take it from here.
Still a lot of laps left. Brandon can gather himself, and there might be another yellow and everything, but this track's going to change too a little bit too.
Hyde still right there fighting with the 32, but the Magic Ant-Man has the race leader cleared. Let's go to fourth as Senior and Bixler go at it here, Brandon.
Bixler running that outside as Brian Moore Sr. tries to get a little bit of finesse on that bottom. They are not giving each other 1 inch of room out the front.
Hugging the wall there in turn number 2, you saw. They stay wheel to wheel. I think it was Bixler that edged out Senior there at the stripe. Again, low line better, corner entry, corner exit, high side. That's just typical dirt car racing. Here's Templeton for P2 on high. Let's go on board with them. Had a little wheel spin there going into turn number 1. You can hear him down the rev limiter. Slides up the hill, takes away P2.
He's fighting back on the inside. He's got to watch out for those infield tractor tires, though.
They already got your autograph on them, right,
Oh, there goes Hyde.
Oh, jeez.
Into the light pole. No caution.
No caution.
We'll see if they'll let him get back going. Puts it in reverse, and now the yellow comes out.
Yep.
He should be able to stay on the lead lap because of that, though.
Let's see. Yes, it still has him. I think on the lead lap. Yep.
Something happened with Gary Taylor. He is missing a front wing.
Gary's missing a lot of things. His top wing's all bent and everything, so he looks like he might have went over.
Here's a look at the 89. There's the contact once again. The second time the two have met. I believe the third time they'll meet. I don't know if it'll be friendly or not. On board with Hyde. See, they were really neck and toe there going to turn 1, and then there's just the contact. Oh, he actually didn't get the light pole. Is that an electrical circuit he nearly took out?
I have no idea. I'm watching the broadcast.
I'm pretty sure that's an electrical mixer, whatever the heck you call those things.
That would be an electrical panel, yes.
Yes, and it stopped them dead.
Someone may want to check on Mason after this one as we're back to green. Ooh, Templeton. Trying to look underneath. Bixler goes around. 360. And the caution comes out.
Caught that inside tire and just drew him right around.
Here's a look at what happened to the mayor. Right into, actually right off of two, as we like to say here in New York, a pair of Tory powdered donuts.
Now, I don't want to be a drama guy or try to jinx anything, but we got more than half the race to go, and look who's sitting fourth. And we know he can run a sprint car. He just hasn't done it in a while, but if he can get that rush shaken off, shaken off, whatever the word is. Shaggy's a guy to reckon with in sprints.
So here we come for the restart. Verano, Templeton, Moore Senior, Chapman, Parmalee, top five. We'll watch aerial side. You see Templeton trying to get the run underneath, trying to time that restart.
Yeah, and I think Verano used that to his advantage.
Yeah, it did not work his way. And here comes the 72. Jackie looking for third on Moore Senior. See if he can get it off the corner. Through 3 and 4 preferred line. Brandon, Jackie up to third.
Jackie absolutely nailing outside line beautifully as he's kind of tracking down B-Temp here as well.
Could be a battle for
B-Temp
second
gets
in
on
no
Morano.
time. Templeton peeking downstairs. 31 car though, quickest on the track, better than the 32 for right now. Now everyone's got some pretty good gaps on each other. Cale Bixler back up to the top 5 after he spun out on lap number 1. Remember, it's top 5 that transfer to Renegades. Pending eye out, Greg Parmalee in 6th. It's a hornet's nest for 6 on back, guys.
Holy cow, that is a gaggle of cars back there.
I am going to watch this race vicariously through your eyes now, guys. I got to go in the other room because there's a lot of guys in here that are better than I am, and I got to get practice.
All right, Tino, good luck in that one. Here's Cale trying to fight for 4th on Moore Senior. The 789 is in it. Oh, big wreck in one. We got one upside down. It's Parmalee. No caution flag. We stay green. If he pulls this off, let's keep it green at least.
Oh, Zach Chapman into the wall.
Chapman hanging on to it in P3. Meanwhile, it's still Bixler and Moore Senior in the race for P4. It's Morano out in front with 7 laps to go, leads by 0.7 of a second. Real quick, while we are at it, look at the replay. What happened to Parmalee? Again, like Brandon said, it was a gaggle of cars. Oh, he got sideways off of turn 4, then got loose and came up into Bixler. That's what happened.
Reynolds Templeton gets into the wall hard twice in a row.
Yeah, and he's just losing time because of that. The gap now at 1.6 seconds is B-Temp's Ryan in. If he keeps in the wall, he'll definitely have a steering issue where he may not make the checker. It's probably safe than sorry to just ride the bottom as Morano's turned on the afterburners with 3 laps remaining. Oh, and the wall goes Steve Bixler up on 2 wheels. And he was fighting for 5th on Gary Alford. And hold the phone, we're going to overtime.
Poor Morano wanted to see that, huh?
I should say hold the phone, we're going to a green-white checkered. Not overtime yet. Moffett came up with the 75.
Lost it coming out of the corner and just looks there's kind of nowhere to go, unfortunately.
Not the yellow you want if you're Morano. Definitely the yellow you want if you're both Templeton and Zach Chapman. Oh, now looking up for the onboard cam. That looked like that may have been netcode.
Give me 1 second. Let me go back and take a gander. It was a little bit on net code, but they were going to make contact irregardless, so I think he actually got the better end of that deal because I think the contact that he would have had would have sent him up and over.
Here we go. First of 3 attempts, the green-white checkered. Morano still leading. Templeton catches the donut. That's not going to work for him as he was trying to go for that race lead. Chapman's still trying to fight for second. Oh, look out, trouble. Off foot spins. We're on the final lap, so no caution. Hyde spins out as well. The field is coming through 3 and 4. Morano's got to dodge this one, and he does. He's got a shot at a triple crown tonight. Morano wins. Templeton second, Chapman third, Moore fourth, and Fernberg fifth. They are all eligible for Renegades tonight. So the driver of the number 32 FTM ride takes the checkers again. Will he do it tonight? It is very rare to do in coast to coast on a broadcast night. But it could be possible. We will just have to wait and see what happens. Again, don't forget Renegades are coming up next. Let's bring the fourth and fifth of 5 booth boys on in here. Look at this. It's a family reunion once again with Zach Chapman.
Look at this. Shaggy.
What's up, fellas?
Shaggy, a great run for you. Starting in the back, making your way up to third. Take me through it.
Yeah, I got to, I don't know what it looked like up there, but I got to about, I think, where I should have been. Definitely didn't have the pace of Brandon nor Anthony. I know Brandon kind of started flirting with that bottom there at the end. I was hoping he didn't like it there. He tried it about 2 or 3 laps before the caution come out. And I liked it. You know, I know Blake kind of runs the bottom here late at the end and started to hook up for me at the end. And, but when Brandon went down there and shut the door, the only thing I could do was, I was getting scared looking at that rearview mirror. Sometimes entering those corners there with 2 to go, but all I could do was mind my own business and just try to bring it home.
Where did you feel you were better than the other drivers tonight?
I guess, well, you guys probably saw there a couple times. I even jumped on the throttle a little bit, but man, watching guys, like Patrick and Blake up there every weekend, and Dean does a good job of breaking it down. Just, man, too much throttle there in the center off, and a lot of guys just, you can almost hear the motors crying coming off the corner while mine's just got a low purr, and I still got more speed than them. It's just, you got to master not jumping in the throttle too quick.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout-outs to all of you guys. I saw the chat there while I was cleaning with my wife. I know it hasn't been the easiest thing, but we're glad to have you back here, Marty. You do an amazing job, and you taught me everything I know. So for that, I appreciate you. But I want to thank all my teammates at Gambler Motorsports, everybody at Coast to Coast, my wife, and last but not least, Aiden Young threw me together a paint here. I'm starting an ARCA series at 9 o'clock, so thanks for painting me a car on short notice, Aiden.
Is it still a toaster in your sim room right now or no?
Dude, absolutely. I'm literally, if you could see the video, you'd see my fat, you know what, man, I don't have a shirt on, no socks, nothing, dude.
You
shorts racing.
Send him the link. I got to see this.
There's no chance. There's no chance that happens.
We've got the camera room still up, so. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that would come back and haunt me. Yeah, that would come back and haunt me. That would never happen.
All righty, Zach. Great job tonight.
All right, guys. Behave. Have fun in Renegades.
Good run, brother.
You as well, man. All righty. Second place finisher, Brandon Templeton, taking a spot here. Brandon, a nice run for you tonight there. What more did you need for Anthony?
I don't know. I'm not much of a sprint car driver, so I'm really excited just to get second, to be honest with you. I had the iRacing default set going, so I was pretty thrilled just to bring it home and not crash.
It seemed like, though, you were really matching his pace. And I feel like, did I see on that final restart you clipped one of the Uke tires there?
Yeah, I might have a little bit. What really got me was the top side was getting a little too tricky and too dicey for me. I was touching the outside wall here and there with like 5 to go, and so I just had to give up on it and go to the bottom. And I knew then, unless the top went away or he messed up a little bit, it was probably his race to win. But I was still happy to bring it home on the podium.
Absolutely. Still a great run for you, brother. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank. Check out track.bank for all your banking needs. Every deposit, helps support backs loans for haulers and real drivers and stuff like that. So check them out. They do it all online. It's a great deal. Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, everybody at Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. You guys for putting on an awesome stream, and everyone at Coast to Coast. Thanks.
All righty, B-Temp. We'll let you go. Great job. Oh, he already left. Damn. You didn't want to hear me say nice runner. Second time he's in victory lane. Anthony Morano.
Definitely didn't get fast time there either. Oh my God, that was horrible.
If you do it in Renegades, I'm getting you a cookie.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, Dean.
Yeah.
But Anthony.
2 years on a cookie.
2 years on a cookie.
It's an internal joke, Marty. I owe him a cookie for like 2 years now.
That must be an out. Hey, I'm still owed a 30-pack of beer for predicting Ross Chastain would make the making the championship race. Not you, my co-host on Trackside, but Anthony. We'll say that for another time. Anthony, great run for you tonight, man. That high side really worked out.
Yeah, I just wish it would have worked out a little bit better in qualifying there. Apparently, that's not what you're supposed to do. I figured out. I was 3/10 slower in qualifying. Really, I was actually just joking out with Shaggy about that. But yeah, the car felt really good up top. Just able to put a ton of gear in it and just work the throttle, keep the car straight, or get it to turn, and worked out. When I went for the lead there, I saw Mason Hine, I believe. When I went past him, it looked like his car was flying through the air. I don't know if him and Hamilton made some contact or something, but definitely scared the crap out of me. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, car hooked up great coming out of the corner, so that was the important part.
What do you expect tonight in Renegades?
Hopefully you can, get back up and stay in the top 5 is the game plan. That's the whole plan for the whole season with Renegades. Just try to run top 5 and see what I can do with these guys here. It's much higher skill level than I feel I have in a sprint car, so I'm trying to just learn and pick up as I'm going.
Just sandbag the time trial again. You'll be good.
Yeah, so I tried to run a time trial, so I was like 3/10. Oh my God.
Well, hey, great run for you, Anthony. You got a chance to the Triple Crown again. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean at Super Air Car, Logan at High Bomb Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Shaggy TV, Extra Installation, Castleberry Flagstone. Marty, you for doing a broadcast. I don't even know who sponsors the Rebels. I don't remember.
Good question. I don't.
For some reason, Flatline or Salty Dogs. Maybe?
Wednesday. Hey, good question.
It might be Salty Dogs. I can't remember. I think Salty Dogs. That could, whoever it is that sponsors the division. Yeah, nowhere near it. Coast to Coast for getting it out.
Yep, you got it. It is Salty Dogs. So great job.
I got to finish on the podium, so I know that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
you're too good for Rebels,
Can you see the difference between Anthony and me? I'm thinking Sherry, Kelsey, and Megan because I can't remember my sponsors, and Anthony's got
I do. Right off. I do have to thank Megan, of course. I'm sure she's watching, waiting for Dino.
All righty, Anthony. We'll let you go. Great job tonight. Yeah. Best of luck in the race.
Thanks, Marty.
So the Magic Ant
I'm not supposed to put favorites up here, but I'm rooting for him.
A pair of wins tonight for Anthony Morano so far. Can he get the Triple Crown? We'll find out in just a moment. Renegades coming up next to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we prepare for the Renegades here at Limaland Motorsports Park, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Marty Scala with you alongside Dean Reynolds and Brandon Dittmer. Boys, we are just about ready for the big dogs here this evening. What are we expecting tonight? Obviously, we got a couple of storylines coming on in, from Murano to Chapman versus Spangler.
And Chapman, Chapman and Spangler are actually doing something a little interesting this season.
Yes.
They're both starting in the back of the field, seeing if they can make it up to the front and who can do better. This is going to be a fun battle all year.
Dino?
Yeah, it's interesting with them doing the back row challenge races, and it's making it tough for them to come on up, and it opens up the door for some of us. But I'd rather have them race it out. I'd rather, because if I want to win, I want to beat them and not, have them come from behind or something like that. But that's their choice, and but it's Renegades. It's the A division. Anyone can still take it off.
First driver we'll watch on track, driver the number 29 machine, Steven Fernberg. See times pop up here on the top left of your screen. Lap number 1 for Steven Fernberg as he sets the bar, 11:53. We go to Keith Jackson here on lap number 2. 11:56 with the driver of the 113. Patrick Spangler clocks in third. Same lap time as Jackson. Here they come across the start-finish line. Does Jackson have a better lap? No, he goes 11:68. Jeff Barker currently 6th quickest, 11:62. Patrick Spangler, meanwhile, went to the top of the charts, 11:49. Quick time, Joseph Grandy. 11:46 for the 518. Gentleman Jack Hedrick made to the top, 11:57. Blake Chapman, meanwhile, quick time for him, 11:33 for the salesman. And he's got one more lap to go. It's lower, but who the hell cares at this point? Blake Chapman, mamma mia, what a lap.
Yeah, so I guess it was wrong to bottom.
Jack Cote, meanwhile, looking to improve. He does not, 11:73 on lap number 2.
Yeah, Blake and Patrick still go for the time trials because they want to get the 5 bonus points, and then they do their. What they'll do is they'll grid for the heat and then take themselves out so it doesn't hold up the total gridding for the heats, and then they'll just wait to the feature and then start in the back.
So everyone's finished with qualifying. You see the time charts here. As Chapman goes 11:33, Rick Main and Joseph Grandy each 11:46, Spangler 11:49, Fernberg 11:53, Morano 11:55, Jackson 11:56, hit 11:57 to go to 11:59, 11:60s from Bandy, Reynolds, and Patton, 11:62 from Barker, and that's the front of the field and how they look. Set for heat race number 1. Here's how they line up. Jesse Bandy, Keith Jackson, row number 1. Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, row 2. Jeff Barker, Brandon Dittmer, row 3. Barry Goldner starting 7th. Dino, I would like to ask you to call this race. I need to step aside and do something real quick here, but I should be back by the time this heat finishes up.
Sounds good, my friend.
All right, we'll get the camera.
BD, are you in it?
He's in it. So.
He's in it, okay. So we'll have to do it on our own here. But it looks like the second row, Jeff and BD, you're going to move up. So
we'll put the camera here on the race leader.
Because it was Patrick and Blake in this heat, so they both gridded and then exit out. So the second row moves up. So we got Jesse Bandy, Keith Jackson, Jeff Barker, Brandon Templeton, and who's in the back there? Oh, we got one of the Goldners, Barry, the elder statesman. Good luck, BD.
Thank you.
Everyone's in the feature. 8 laps, so this is going to set the starting lineup. Whoever wins this race will be on the pole for the feature. Keith Jackson made his return to the Coast to Coast mid portion of last season, and it's good to have him back. And he's shown that he hasn't really lost his touch either.
Green flag, green flag.
Jesse Bandy rolling that bottom with Jeff Barker. And Jackson and Dimmer doing what they do best. They love the top. So it's going to be interesting to see which lane is faster. Keith Jackson getting that momentum. Jackson leads lap 3. Brandon now coming into 3rd. Jesse's probably going to slide up, I imagine, right here. He'll come up top here in the straightaway and get behind Keith, which is a smart move because you finished 4th or 2nd here. You'll start 4th in the feature, and that's not bad starting on the outside for the feature here. Just as I say that, Bandy goes down low. So BD, hopefully he can maybe make that work for him. There he goes. Brandon gets in the wall a little bit. Here comes Jesse. He's probably going to slide up in front. Yep. Great battle for second. BD throwing a nice slider right there. Jesse going to throw one back or stay down there? No, it's going to stay low. Keith is checking out, so the battle is for second. Jeff Barker's hoping maybe something happens so he can move up a couple spots. Coming down for the checkers, Keith Jackson. Brandon Dittmer second. Jesse Bandy third, Jeff Barker fourth, and Barry Goldman will pick up the field. Good run, BD.
Thank you.
Oh. And I'm going to let you do heat too, because I'm in this one.
I'll tell you what, boys, ever since I got that freaking boost kit for my wheel, my arms are killing me after every single race.
I don't even know what a boost kit is. Should I get one for Megan or me or what?
Basically just up the power of my wheel, and I am just exhausted after every single race, essentially. It's painful, but it's so much fun. All right, Heat 2 here. We got Dean Reynolds starting on the pole with Jack Hitt to his outside. Second row, we got Steven Fernberg and Rick Main. Third row, we got Chad Cote and Brian Moore Sr. And rounding out the field, we got the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Dean debuting the brand new scheme tonight, looking absolutely phenomenal as always. Scheme number 351 in the books.
Can't go fast, might as well look good. Rick Main just mic'd up and said, what number paint is that?
Oh, that reminds me, I didn't turn voice back on. Gonna go go green this time around for 8 laps. Good luck, Dino.
Thank you, sir. I'm not going to tell you what Rick Main said this paint looks like.
Oh, God.
Green flag.
And green flag is out. Rick Main gonna jump right to the middle, right in between Fernberg and Hitt. Fernberg's gonna fall back to 4th place as Rick Main goes to the bottom of Jack Hitt. Dean Reynolds leads lap 1. Fernberg gets Rick Main gets slid up in front of Jack Hitt as he tries to track down Dean Reynolds now. Fernberg holding on to 4th place, and right now Jack Cote snags it at the line. Jack Hitt fighting back on that outside of Rick Main as they both try to track down Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds a little bit sideways coming out of 4. He's going to pull it right back out and lead lap 3. Rick Main not going away anywhere. Jack Hitt smacks the outside wall. He loses a little ground. Rick Main clears for second. Jack Hitt back to the bottom under Rick Main. Giving it everything that he's got, but it's just not enough right now. As Fernberg slams it around the outside, trying to come around Jack Hitt for 3rd place. Ooh, Jack Hitt and Fernberg almost come together. Jack Hitt almost was a big slider. Checks up Schoenberg. Oh, Fernberg gets him. Jack Hitt around into Terry Landis. Landis is slow. Jack Hitt slow. They both come out of it. Jack Hitt takes the worst hit of all, going back all the way back to 7th. Terry Landis in 5th. Rick Main kind of going a little bit higher, and Dean Reynolds into the corner, but it is getting a little bit better of a run than him out of the corner. Oh, Rick Main up into the wall. Oh, checkered flag. Jesus.
I was wondering if I had one more to go the way you were talking. I'm like,
I wasn't paying attention to the lap counter.
Jesus, Dimmer.
These laps go so quick here, man. I'm not paying attention.
Oh.
This is Marty's job. This ain't my job.
Yeah, where the hell is Marty? Is he having lunch or dinner or doing something here? What's he doing? No, we miss him. So I guess we'll call this one together, huh?
I guess so.
That's all right. We'll take his pay. So the front row, we have, I made that joke earlier, the 358s, the front row is like 212 years on this earth. We have the same deal here with Bob the Good and Andy Patton.
Oh man.
And then we got Mr. Going for hat trick, Anthony. Joseph Grandy is always fast.
Grandy is always fast. He needs to stay out of trouble.
It's a stacked heat, and we got Brad Waite, and I think Devo's just hanging back there because he wants to spot everybody. Devo's
Jesse Atkinson, slated to start 6th, did not show up.
Yes, he left and came back and left, so I wonder if he's having maybe a VR issue or a power issue at home or something. So winner of this will start 3rd.
All right, I'm back. Apologies.
Marty.
Gang.
Now he's back. Oh, now he steals our thunder.
Green flag.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Heat 3 is on. Everyone makes it to the show. The good gets forced out of the group. Patton with the advantage, but look at Anthony Morano. Look at Joseph Grandy. Nearly went 2 for 1 there as the general leads lap 1. Morano slides up. He takes the race with a slider, guys. And watch out, though, for Grandy. 100 Grand can maybe make a slider line work. He clears, though. Anthony Morano, does he take the slider? He does, and he's got the 32 clear easily, boys.
Grandy really fast in the middle here. It's absolutely putting on a show.
That lane is coming in.
It's starting to dial up. Patton's dropped down to 3rd, to good 4th. Donovan Ross already up 2 spots in 5th. Here comes Morano once more, trying to fight back up in the chocolate gems. Oh, that was a line he worked out really well in his heat race. Gets the door slammed, though, by the 518.
I think a big slider line here.
Yeah, there it is by the Magic Camp man. Grandy crisscrosses it. Grandy may take the slider here. No, he holds onto it in the middle of the corner. Grandy very good, though, and 3 and 4. Morano's got to catch it. What a save. He kept his foot in the gas, though. And now he sends it deep with a slide job through 3 and 4. And the line, he got way too wide. Grandy's got the lead. Morano sends it in deep. Grandy says thank you very much. Morano with one last shot. He sends it in through 3 and 4. Up the hill, they nearly bang, and Grandy takes the win. That's
what
a hell
race.
of a race.
That race did not suck.
All righty. We will step aside and go to break. When we come
he comes back, calls one race, and he's got to go to break. You tired?
Feature time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Yes, exactly. might have just heard me say holy moly as we welcome you back. This just happened in warm-ups. Bang! Hashtag Devo gonna Devo. Anyway, warm-ups continuing here at the moment. Dino the quickest. Actually, nope, he's tied with Blake Chapman.
I got the tiebreaker. I'm looking at it right now.
Nice, nice.
I don't know. I promise I don't know what line I did it in.
Anyway, 21 drivers, 35 laps around the Renegades. Thanks for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. Let's meet the field and give you tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, Keith Jackson in the 113. Next to him, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, Hunter Grant, Joseph Grandy in the 518. And the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row 3, Rick Main in the 187, and the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 4, the Bandy Boat Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49, and Stephen Fernberg in the 29. Rounding out your top 10, the General, Andy Patton in the 87, and Jeff Barker, the Brute to Beats in the 513. Row number 6, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, and Bob DeGood in car number 7. Second half of the grid, Barry Goldner in the 36 inside row 7 next to Brian Moore Sr. in the 055. Row 8, it's Devo Davin Ross in the 5, and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row number 9, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217 next to Brad Waite in the 814. Row 10, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Final car on the grid tonight, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Picks to win this evening. Give me, you know what? It's gonna happen. Give me the Ant-Man for the Triple Crown tonight. I just want to see it happen. Dino?
I like I said, he's off for a little bit and came back, and he hasn't forgotten what to do. I'm taking a low-hanging fruit and taking Keith.
Alrighty, Brandon.
Ant-Man, Keith, oh boy. You know, if he could stay out of trouble, he could stay away from any wrecks, Joseph Grandy can get himself a win.
I was almost going to pick him.
Good picks, boys. Good picks. Best of luck
I'm not
out
picking
there.
out Blake coming from the back.
Best of luck, boys.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Time to shake and bake, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Showtime at Limaland. Jackson and Reynolds wing to wing, nearly 4 wide off the corner. Lap number 1 across the line, led by Keith Jackson. Reynolds second, but here comes Hunter Grant trying to look underneath. Insane with Rick Main all the way downstairs. Nearly 3 wide for that third spot. First yellow flag waves. We had a lot of cars involved in the first caution. That's Jack Hitt. That was at a stop. Hearing Patrick Spangler, Barry Goldner also involved. A lot of drivers with some wing damage. So going to replay what happened to driver 36. Slight contact with Spangler, and Jack Hitt up on 2 wheels head on. Just right on board for the rear end of the high side banger. He nearly got T-boned from behind, too. Ready to come back to the green flag and waste no time. Jackson, ready to fire. Dino stuck with company for second again in Grandy. Anthony Morano right in the 4th spot in that 32, and here comes as well the 49 of Jesse Bandy, who's pretty good at this racetrack as well. Reynolds stacking up that high side with Grandy and Morano. well losing some time to Keith Jackson. In fact, they're already working on lap traffic. Barry just came out of the fence, I believe. Going to go. Actually, correction, he actually spun. And the back one did not bring out the yellow. Smorgasbord here in this battle for P2. Ooh, Barry up. No, that's Tina that caught the wall. I gets T-Bone. Up and over goes the 79. Murano collected. Everybody scatters. And the man that was running P2 is done. Show you what happened to the driver of the 79. Caught the wall. And caught the wall again. Up and over he went, and I don't think anyone else got him. Ooh, just barely clipped Fernberg actually in that as well. Well, trying to keep it straight. Right up north of 79. There's one hit, and there's two hits. The steering got messed up. And caught the catch fencing too. Lights are still on, and they just turned off real quick. Let's bring in Dean here. Dino, what happened? Just driver error?
Stepped on it. Yep. It's not big enough to step on, but I found it.
Well, you got a quick repair release. Let's see if you can make a charge back up. Alrighty, double file once again. Back to the green. We'll watch the aerial shot. Oh, their contact for third. Murano and Rick Payne. 3 wide. There goes Bandy. He got yeeted. Murano up on the wall. Big one in turn 3. That's got 3 upside down. That was an accident that may have been waiting to happen. Once the clock struck 9 on the East Coast, mayhem. Murano catches Bandy, but then look at this. There's Frost. Good. Another car got up on its noggin. Let's watch from a wider angle here. Let's see what can our grandstand cam show us here in turn 3. This is the ultra wide shot. Will that show us anything? Man, a couple of sidewinders there. I think Dicker as well went for a ride. Well, that will put us to double file for the rest of this one. Coming back to green for the restart. Right now, biggest movers, Blake Chapman, Terry Landis, Jesse Atkinson. Each up 11 spots at the moment. And the salesman running in 8. Rick May to that 187, trying to grab the second position. Joseph Rennie, nothing doing there. First side by side for 5th. In fact, it's 3 wide. Jeff Barker in the middle. Here comes the goose, Jen Cote, trying to take that spot away. At the bottom, that low line doesn't come in from until normally in the second half of the race. They try and go 2 for 1. He just picked up, I think he just got 5th there at the line. Patrick Spangler was involved in the first caution of the day. He's rebounded pretty well. He's running at 8. Nearly 4 wide across the line. Pat, it's stuck in the sandwich. We were 4 wide. Well, you wanted the best. You got him 4 abreast. Chapman catches the tire for just a moment. Now he's up to 4th. Now can he grab a podium spot on the Internal Motorsports 180 up to Rick Payne? Yes, he can. Wasting no time. The shortest way around the track, working well for Blake Chapman. Started back in 19th in this 21-car field, and he's the quickest car on the track right now. Keith Jackson, Joseph Granny, you'll have company in just a matter of moments. Jackson up by about a half second. Rick Payne a little sideways, he catches it though. Jack Cote's going to roll his way around the outside. Patrick Spangler just passed on the long way. by Andy Patton and Jeff Barker. The battle persists. And the Goose is throwing it on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Blake doesn't need to go to the top shelf. He can just hang out in Mama's basement. Underneath for second spot on the 518. Get it there. If he gets past him, can secure it the line. He's got it. Turns 3 and 4. The salesman moves up to second. Now he just has Jackson to attack. And he's now side by side with them. Just look how smooth he is on the bottom. Unbelievable. I would not be surprised if a lot of people ask for an engine teardown or tire samples off the number 20. Under 15 laps to go. And guess what? Blake's approaching lap traffic with Barry Goldner in the 36, the first man. Some other battles here. Rick Main, Patrick Spengler again, battle for fifth. Caution flag waves, and it's for Dean Reynolds in the 79. Oh no. Oh no. This is my worst nightmare possible. My return to coast and my two commentators get involved. What on earth? And what happened? What caused this? Ooh, Atkinson slid up on Dino and put the 79 in the wall. Ditmer decided, you know what? I'm going to try and reenact Dino's segment. And that will likely do it for driver the 79 or less. He's going to get that car fully repaired, or in fact may have just used that quick repair right now. $11 laps to go. Blake Chapman, the best car here. Ready to bring them back to green. Check that, 12 laps to go. As he fires, we're back to green. 3 wide for third. Grandy in the middle this time. Last time we were 3 wide on the restart. It got pretty ugly. The Goose up to P3 now with Chad Cote. Where'd he come from? Grandy couldn't slam the door on him. The Canadian now trying to take everyone to school. He's now up to second past Jackson. Are his tires maybe fading? We're 3 wide for third again. 10 laps to go. Now could the Goose have maybe something for Blake Chapman? I'm not too sure. Spengler up to third now, past Joseph Grandy. 39 takes the spot. Meanwhile, double file on back with Jackson, Main and Andy Patton. 5th through 7th on back in a war. Morano trying to rebound as he's running out of time. He's down to 9th. This track is starting to get dusty. Tell you what, Cote's actually catching, if not matching pace, with Chapman. The Goose is faster. The Goose is faster. We're coming to 5 laps to go here. Can Chad Cote pull off a stunner? Blake switches lines. He's now in the high side. Chad Cote is in a war against the 2 conglomerates of the series. Can he pull off an upset? 4 laps to go. Spengler low for second. Doesn't work. Granny tries to stay in this fight. It's a 4-car race for the win. 4 laps to go. You know what? Blake switched to the high side. He knew he had a pretty good chance at it. But does Cote go for the slider? We'll have to see. 2 laps. Caution flag waves! This one is not over yet. It'll be a single file restart coming out. Yellow wave for Jesse Atkinson, believe Brandon Dittmer was also involved in it too. Watch the Pink Panther. Pop the wall. Ooh, Keith Jackson slowed up down the back chute, one of the quicker cars we had, where he led this race early on from the get-go. Now that's a tough way for him to finish. So now we will just have to see, what can Chad Cote do? Pull off a win on Blake Chapman and Patrick Spangler. Dino, I know you're still on track. Brandon, you as well. Real quick, what do you guys think it takes for Chad to pull off the upset?
I haven't had a chance.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know where the lane is because I haven't been out there for a while, so.
Well, the high side's the place to be, but Chapman's been pretty good on the bottom. Green-white checker, first of 2 overtimes. A blinding jump from the salesman. And now Granny trying to break on the podium for third here on Patrick Spangler. They're wing to wing into turn number 3. Spangler up on the wall. The right front's gone. Murano upside down. No caution flag. We're on the final lap. Yeah, Blake better be aware of the carnage in front of him off turn 4 to the home stretch. Blake Chapman takes the win. Cote second, Grandy third, Main fourth, and Patton fifth. Let's show you the replay of what happened coming to the white flag. Patrick catches the wall there at one time. He's okay. Oh, and then immediately the right front just broke on him. And Vandy and Murano each had nowhere to go. And the 32 caught the front end of that one. But the salesman takes another W from the back, wins by 6 tenths
we
of a
mentioned
second.
don't sell him short.
Cote second, Grandy third, Main in fourth, Patton in fifth. Biggest mover without question, Blake Chapman. And you look at the rest of the field on your screen. So that's your top 3. We've got the third place guy in. We'll bring him in immediately. Joseph Grandy gets it done there in that third spot. Joseph, nice consistent run for you. Walk me through it.
Yeah, just try to stay steady and smooth. I saw Blake coming there on the bottom, and I was just gonna let him by, not even bother try hitting the bottom. Felt like I was catching whoever that was there in second there for a bit. I don't know what happened to him, but then not the last restart, but the restart before last, Blake started like way at the bottom, and that completely messed me up. And I think a couple guys got around me, but Patrick ended up making a mistake or whatever, and then I'm getting third.
Well, still, you had a really good car tonight, that's for sure. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, all the guys over at Coast to Coast Sim Sports, Matula Safe Speed Shop, girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast, Flatline Racing Bodies, and appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast.
Good run, Joseph.
Yeah, good to talk with you once again, Joseph. Nice job tonight.
Thanks.
Undergrad Joseph Grandy finishing in third. Let's go to the second place finisher, the Goose, Chad Cote. Where the hell did that run come from tonight, dude? Way to go.
Well, Mike muted him so he could just concentrate on freaking racing. That's what
that was probably the best idea of them all. That was probably a well-worked penalty.
That's been a couple weeks coming, Marty, I think.
It is after all the time I watched you and Rebels lead, and then late in the race, boom, something happens.
Right? Flashbacks. Welcome back, Marty. Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Flashbacks. Nice, Marty.
Take me through that run.
I was saying to Fernie, actually, the middle of the track was good, like, early, but unfortunately with Limaland, the top is the place to be, and if you can get up there, you have to get up there as fast as possible. It's a downfall of the track, but as Blake showed today, clearly the bottom was working because he's dipped by all 3 of us while we were battling, so clearly I don't know what I'm talking about, so I like to run the top, and that's what I did tonight, Marty.
Blake does that every freaking track, and I flip him the bird every time he goes under me. That's a Blake Chapman. It's not us, Chad. We're doing it right.
Man. So where did you feel your car may have been better late in the going before Blake swapped up? Obviously, we saw you work on the top. Why did you feel you were better than Blake?
I was so he was running the bottom and every lap, but I know Blake well enough that he knows well enough to when the line isn't fast enough anymore. And I just said to him in the waiting room that he came up at the perfect time. Otherwise, I probably would have got around him because I had that top working fairly quick.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
All the boys over at All American Motorsports, our sponsors, Finish Line Race Designs, Boss Hog Off-Road, Bonehead Podcast. Marty, welcome back. Thank you for the broadcast. Dino, hello.
Hey, man, good run. Good run, brother.
Alrighty, Chad. We'll let you go. Congratulations. Hell of a job tonight. Best of luck down the road.
Thanks, guys.
So the Goose, Chad Cote, finishing in second. And to victory lane we go to talk with your winner, Blake Chapman, brother, from 19th to 1st. Take me through it on the bottom.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this race, starting in the back all season because last season we were able to come from the back on the run in the bottom with this thing, and I think we ended up second or third then. But this time was a little different. It was a day race. I wasn't sure if the bottom was going to be there, but it really was. Early on it was there a little bit. Then about midway through the race is when it really got good, and we were able to pick cars off pretty well there. And we were just rolling the bottom, and after that one caution, I told Terry that I think it might have been going away a little bit, and I might have to move up. And surely enough, a couple laps after that, we had to move up. Chad was catching us, but we were able to just play defense there for the last couple laps of the race and hold on for the win.
Yeah, it seemed like to be the case, man. I mean, you were on the bottom better than anyone, but then Chad, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came out shooting like out of a cannon with the high side, and then did you notice him working the top there and then had to move up there?
Yeah, definitely. I was checking the gaps behind me, and I could see that he was catching me a little bit, and I knew the entries was really gone on both ends to the bottom, so I couldn't set up the car how I wanted to into the corners. So that was really affecting the speed we had down there, and I figured that top was just the line to be, place to be again, and so we moved up there, and found that middle, the top in turn 1, and that very top in turn 3 and 4, and that was just enough for us to hold on to the win here.
Next week we head to Lincoln. Give me your outlook going on in.
I'm not a fan of that track at all, but hopefully we can put something together. Maybe, just hopefully stay out of trouble there. That's always a goal at the tracks I'm not a big fan of. So hopefully we can just stay out of trouble and have a decent run.
Well, brother, let me tell you something. A heck of a job tonight. Go sell some stuff for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's got to mention he got some free gifts. I mean, I lost a bet, and I was a man of my word. So, yeah. Somebody got 4 bags of free popcorn.
Free delicious popcorn, I might add.
Sell it, Blake. Sell it, Blake.
You like the dill pickle, huh?
Absolutely. First, I got to ramble on.
Sell it, Blake.
I got to thank some people first. I got to thank the family for watching. I got to thank all the guys at KSR, especially Terry, for running with me tonight. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank Flatline Racing Bodies. I got to thank Steve at Steve's Custom Golf Clubs. And, of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. As Dean mentioned, he did give me some free popcorn here just recently, which was very, very delicious popcorn, I might add. And if Easter's coming around, if you're looking to impress the family at the family gathering at Easter, get some Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over to their website, and don't forget to use code CART.
Did use it. Yes.
That's good. You got 15% off of your purchase. And I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
Alrighty, man. Good to talk with you once again, pal. Congrats on the win. Well done tonight.
Thanks. Good to see you back, Marty.
Blake Chapman taking the win here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park. So
damn kid.
Dino, is it time? Is he here?
No, I don't even know where the heck he is. I think. Well, I was gone down in Jersey for the Super Dirt Car Series race, and he found a spot on top of my laundry pile. Yes, I have a pile because I don't do laundry, and he's all comfortable there, and he's just staying right there. I think that's where he is. So no, Marty, now that you're back, I'll make sure that when we're doing the interviews for the Renegades, I'll go grab him and wake him up and bring him in.
All right. Sounds good. Good to know. But anyway, final thoughts on the night. We'll start with you, Brandon, before we go to Dean.
Oh, Lima, always great track, always brings a lot of competitiveness. A lot of close quarters racing. Sometimes a little bit of rough racing, but rubbin's racing, you know. Always great to see it.
Dino?
Yeah, Limaland, like I said, is my favorite short track, and we saw, especially the 358s. I mean, I think it was 4 and 5 wide going on at some times there, and produced a good one. But just shows there's more than one groove out there because, look where Blake Chapman did. He ran the bottom, and he beat everybody on that thing. And, congratulations to Chad Cote. He's had a lot of bad luck. And, when you get a Mike Mute, that's not really because you had good luck. You don't get a Mike Mute because you're happy. So it was good to see him get a top 3. And then, we had a good car. We were coming. But, again, short track racing is part of the deal. And then we'll fix her up and we'll bring her out next week.
Well, I thought this was a phenomenal race tonight without question. And this is a great race to come back to coast with. So definitely thrilled by the entire race in here tonight. Well, I'm always thrilled at Limaland regardless. So we'll be back next week at Lincoln Speedway out in Pennsylvania for Monday
it gets
Night
easier.
Madness.
Yay.
Yes, absolutely. For the rest of the week and more details on schedule and points, head to C2CRL.com. So that'll do it for us here tonight. On behalf of the board of the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, on behalf of my broadcast partners tonight, Dean Reynolds and Brandon Detmer, Maurice Callis saying so long. Congratulations to your winners this evening, Anthony Morano in Open 358 in Rebels, and in the Renegades, Blake Chapman. So glad to be back with you all. Glad to have a brand new PC that we can get back to broadcasting. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you all soon. So long.